Hey, beautiful souls, and welcome to Infinite You. I'm Dr. Sheri, psychologist, abundance mindset mentor, spiritual entrepreneur, human potential catalyst, and intuitive empowerment coach. I help purpose driven creators, spiritual entrepreneurs, and seekers master their mindset and energy, align with their soul's vision, and create a life and a business filled with wealth, freedom, impact, and flow. Welcome back to those of you who are returning. I really appreciate you. This is a new channel and I really want to make it grow because I really want to spread the word and empower people to feel really good about who they are, let go of limits, and step into their infinite potential. And if this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this resonates with you, and I'm very happy that you found this space. So let's get started. What are we going to talk about today? Let me ask you something. What if the version of you who already has everything that you desire already exists? What if it is not about becoming someone new, but aligning with the highest timeline that is already available to you? That is what I'm going to break down for you today. So, what is this whole thing with timelines? People are talking about quantum jumping, jumping timelines. It's definitely seeping into the collective consciousness as it should be because we are moving into this new powerful energy where we are. And I want to say this. I made a video about mind, body, and soul when I first started my channel. It may have been like video 1, probably video 2. Um, and I'm bringing that up because I think that we have all been aware of body, mind, soul connection, but I definitely want to take that to the next level because I think it is way, way, way more powerful and tractable to talk about third dimensional reality as the physical, fourth dimensional reality as the intellectual, mental, energetic aspect of who we are, and then the bigger, expansive, soulful, energetic level and dimension of 5D that is very much a part of our human experience. So, yes, it is mind, body, and soul, but I just feel like talking about it in terms of dimensionality and how it is a much more accurate representation of how powerful we can be when we tune our mindset in and perceive ourselves and our reality that way. So we can just create powerfully and, experience what we want to in this lifetime. And so, what is the reality of this timeline shift, this quantum jumping? From the sciencey point of view, remember that quantum physics definitely shows multiple realities, infinite timelines, all coexisting. For sure, it's kind of like this superpositioning that theoretical physicists talk about with electrons and light going, as soon as you observe them, they disappear. And the thought in theoretical physics is kind of like, oh my gosh, these electrons are disappearing and light is disappearing, they must be heading into another dimension. And the truth of the matter is that really that is exactly what is happening even for us as human beings. Because we're energetic, we definitely may think that we're living 100% here in this three-dimensional reality, but we energetically are moving into different dimensions and other timelines all of the time. And so my thought is, why not be intentional about hopping into the timeline that you really, really, really want to experience this time around? Your future self, remember, already exists on one of these timelines where you can be wealthy, fulfilled, free, and deeply in alignment. The choice is yours. You are an energetic being and you are a powerful co creator of whatever reality you choose. So, why do you feel stuck? I think that most people try to force their way into it. right? We try to overthink it. We are trying to intellectualize what is happening on an energetic level. Let me think if I can give you a good example. Hang on, it's coming to me. I think I want to talk about how you feel in 5 dimensional energy, and then I'll bring it back down into the example of 4D. Think about times in your life, and I remember saying this, oh my God, when I was probably like hanging out with friends when I was like 18, 19, or 20 years old. And just like, I remember one night when I was in college, my friends and I, we were having a grand old time hanging out somewhere at whatever bar, and I wasn't drunk or anything like that. I probably had a couple of drinks. And we were feeling happy and flowy and young and alive and the whole bit. And at one point, I remember, like, in the night, we stepped out of the bar and we looked up, and there was like a full on lunar eclipse, like staring us, like, right down from the sky. And my girlfriend and I looked at each other and we were like, oh my gosh, life doesn't get any better than this. And I definitely remember being, young and having all of these experiences of like, oh my God, life doesn't get any better than this. That feeling of just truly being connected where you're not thinking at all. You are tuned in and you are living in that moment of being in awe of, in wonderment, and of the magic. And I definitely feel like those thought patterns, those feeling patterns definitely were a part of my lifetime journey, because I think being in the moment really, really matters. And so, you know, being in the moment is not intellectualizing being in the moment. So, do you see like the distinction? So, it's overthinking doesn't get you there. It's really about leaning into the vibration and the feeling of what you have in your heart and in your body, that whole body. Yes, that hell. Yes, think of the times when you held the hand for the first time of someone who you fell in love with, or when you were, listening to a symphony or any other kind of music where you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe this is my life. I mean, I'm getting choked up thinking about it, or looking at a piece of art, or climbing a mountain, or, whatever floats your boat, whatever your thing is, like all of the extraordinary experiences that are just waiting for us to simply be and enjoy the moment. So don't force your way into that space. Stay open to the possibilities and tune in to the present moment and your heart as much as you possibly can. So don't overthink it. You don't have to hustle. You don't have to attach a how and a when to any of this. Definitely, you don't have to react to your current reality or hold on to the same old conversations or programming or beliefs or patterns expecting different results. You know what? I created like a really, it's not a freebie, but it's almost a freebie. It's like $11. And I had this like epiphany sometime last year after I went through like a bunch of stuff. Um the loss of someone I loved, my mom getting like really, really sick, and I was worried that she was getting ready to leave the planet, and my own like health things all going on, like kind of happened at once. And I remember at some point last year, I thought, man, like I need to hop in a different timeline. I need to get into like Sheri 2.0 and design this next timeline for me. And so as I was going through my epiphany and aha moment, I created this like $11, you 2.0 design your timeline. I will put a link in the description box below if you're ready to shift, and it kind of gives you the opportunity to like, get into like a meditative state and just sort of like look around like in the ethers, in other dimensions for the timeline that you really want to tune into and hop into. So, because here's the thing, like, If you're reacting to your current reality and you're just like in those thoughts of like, oh my God, I'm never going to get out of this. What am I going to do? Here I am. I'm stuck. Like you're definitely like really like enmeshing yourself in your current 3D reality. And that is not how you hop into a different timeline. Because here's the thing, here's the truth. You cannot create a new reality from the same energy, from the same frequency, from the same vibration, or the same dimension that created your current challenge or problem, or whatever it is about that particular reality you're not a fan of. Remember, the universe is beyond wise, and the universe definitely provides us with opportunities to observe contrast in our lives. And what do I mean by that? The contrast of being like, oh, I am this, I am not that. I do think this, I don't think that. I believe this, I don't believe that. I want this, I don't want that. You get to choose at any moment in time. And once you do, once you are clear, once you decide, which is huge, I cannot emphasize enough how much deciding is wildly powerful energetically. And when you get in that mode of like, I am no longer this, I am now that, things will really begin to shift and you will be hopping into a different timeline. I guarantee you. You have to lean in, shift your perception, decide, shift your frequency, and that new timeline will become more and more clear for you. You cannot control your way into the highest timeline. You simply align with it, right? I mean, the other aspect and the other way of looking at it is like, think about your quantum self, right? Outside of being a person, outside of being human, you are a quantum ball figure of energy, right? Like your quantum self is like out there. What does she or he look like for you? How do you want to feel? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to experience? And I definitely talk about this in other videos. When you wake up in the morning, who do you want to be? How do you want to feel? What do you want to do? Every day. Ask yourself that every day. So, how to align with this new timeline, the 3-step shift. Number 1, get clarity. Connect with your soul, tune in. What feels really freaking good? Go back to, my ridiculous little, oh, I was at a bar one night and we saw the lunar eclipse and yada, yada, yada. I mean, I could tell you thousands of those stories, and I know you probably have thousands of those stories. Think of the moments where you felt the most magical, the highest vibe, all of that good stuff. That is your soul speaking directly to you. Get clear on who you are, your highest self, your soul's purpose, those dreams, those desires. How do they feel? What do they look like? Who are you? What do you believe to be true for you? You can reinvent your story. You can reinvent yourself any darn well time you choose. What is your quantum self doing? So lean in. Every infinite possibility of you exists. Step number 2, it's really time to embody this. So start living, thinking, feeling as if you are already him or her. And every thought and action either anchors you closer or it can easily keep you in your old version. So remember, how do you kind of, and I want to like refine this point just a little tiny bit. It's really easy to go back to the old version of who we are because it feels really good in terms of comfort level, safety level, predictability level, not feeling like, oh my God, this is a great high vibration feeling, but it's predictable, it's safe, it is, you already know, you already have the outcome, right? For some people, change can be really, really difficult. So if you end up finding yourself, become a keen observer of your mind and be intentional about it and just start paying attention, like what thoughts are rolling around in your head. It's an inner game thing. And I actually do have a really cool digital program all about inner game. So I will put that in the description box as well. So, newsletter, timeline, inner game. So start living as if you are the person that you want to become, whatever that looks like for you. You're not fundamentally changing who you are. You are just shifting a timeline, and what you want to be, do have an experience. But if you get back and fall back and like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Why did I think that I'm all that? That's okay. Just catch yourself in that thought and think, oh, wait, wait, wait. You don't have to answer to anybody. You'd never have to explain as a sovereign soul why you are choosing what you are choosing if it feels really empowering and good for you. And step number 3, it is all about detachment and trust. So release, control, tune in, align, surrender, relax, have fun, live in joy, live in creating, live in taking aligned action. See yourself as the person that you know you want to head to, that quantum self of who you are. You don't need to know every step. Stay open to the serendipity and magic for sure. Just simply stay energetically aligned. This is where thinking positive and being positive and embodying those powerful affirmations can really help you lean into what works for you. The timeline will reveal itself when you align internally. You get to decide. And like I said, for me, choosing a new timeline wasn't about forcing change or chasing outcomes per se. It was about leaning into the version of me and the reality that I really truly wanted to experience. We all go through highs and lows, no matter how self aware or self evolved or self realized we become. There's always another experience or challenge because that's kind of the nature of this reality that we're in. But I definitely realized whatever I perceive myself to be is definitely already possible. You can't have the thought unless it's already a possibility. I want to say that again. You are connected to source energy and to God's mind. You cannot have that thought unless it's already happening for you. It's already a part of your timeline. It's really a matter of like taking a stand, leaning in, and just really being and embodying that different version of who you would like to experience, be, do, and have. And I do have to say, the moment I shifted my perception, and it doesn't mean you don't take like a step back, and allowed myself to believe and embody that version, everything around me began to reflect it back. My business, opportunities, serendipity, abundance, they aligned because I aligned. It's a frequency. And so, what version of you are you aligning with today? You are infinite. You are amazing. You get to be and do and have whatever it is you would like to experience in this lifetime, right here, right now. You know, I know, we are energy beings. We are spiritual beings. We come, we go, we come, we go. We go back to the non-physical, then we come back here. And so I know for me in this lifetime, my soul definitely was like, I just want to embody this experience and create to my heart's content, because that's why we're here. It is all about creating. And so, what is the one thing that you are ready to embody from your future self today? I would love a subscribe. I would love a like. I would love comments, and just let me know like how I can help you. And I will put really cool links in the description box, and I will see you next time. Namaste. And I got this video in. The corgis are just waking up. I will see you all next time.